What if I told you one of the Arctic's most iconic giants speaks in a language we're only just beginning to understand, and it sounds exactly like a human whistle? Picture the Arctic, vast, frozen, almost silent. Beneath the surface, a massive shape moves through the icy water, a walrus, a creature that can weigh over a ton, with tusks like curved swords and a roar that echoes across the flows. But in the quiet moments between dives and breaths, something unexpected happens. A clear, piercing whistle cuts through the cold air. Not from a bird, not from the wind, from the walrus itself. For centuries, sailors and explorers reported hearing strange whistles in the far north, often attributing them to spirits or unknown creatures. Only recently have scientists confirmed the truth: walruses whistle. And they do it with purpose. So how does an animal known for its grunts, bellows, and roars produce such a delicate, almost musical sound? And why would a creature built for brute strength need something as subtle as a whistle? Let's dive into the icy waters of walrus communication. Walruses are social animals. They gather by the hundreds on ice floes, huddle for warmth, and travel in noisy, brawling groups. Their most famous sounds are the low, guttural knocks and bellows used to assert dominance or call over long distances. But up close, in the water, where visibility is low and predators like orcas might be near, being loud isn't always safe. That's where whistling comes in. Unlike many marine mammals, walruses don't have vocal cords. Instead, they produce sound using their pharyngeal pouches, unique air sacs in their throat that can be inflated and deflated like balloons. By controlling the airflow through these pouches and shaping it with their soft palate and lips, a walrus can create a range of sounds, including that unmistakable whistle. But here's what makes it fascinating. Each walrus seems to have its own distinct whistle. Researchers recording groups in the wild have noticed that individual walruses produce whistles with slightly different pitches, lengths, and patterns, almost like a vocal signature. It's possible they use these whistles to identify one another, especially when swimming in murky water or during the long polar night. Imagine two walruses diving together. One lets out a short, rising whistle. The other responds with two quick notes. It could be a way of saying, "I'm here," or "follow me," or even, "watch out, something's near." In an environment where seeing isn't always an option, sound becomes a lifeline. But whistling isn't just practical, it might also be emotional. Calves have been heard whistling softly beside their mothers, a sound that seems to reinforce their bond. During mating season, males might mix whistles into their displays, combining brute force with something more nuanced. It's a reminder that behind those thick hides and formidable tusks, there's complexity, even tenderness. Of course, none of this would matter if the walrus couldn't hear its own kind. And here's another marvel. Their hearing is exquisitely tuned to pick up these subtle frequencies underwater. While a roaring walrus might be heard for miles, a whistle travels shorter distances but with precision. Like a private conversation in a crowded room. Now, think about the challenges they face. As Arctic ice melts and human activity increases, shipping, drilling, sonar, the ocean is getting noisier. For a species that relies on quiet, nuanced communication, that's a problem. A lost whistle in a storm of engine noise could mean a lost companion, a missed warning, a fractured social connection, which brings us to the bigger picture. Whistling isn't just a quirky walrus trait, it's a window into the hidden richness of animal communication. We used to think of marine mammals in terms of simple barks and songs. Now, we're learning that many species, from dolphins to seals to walruses, have layered, individualized ways of speaking. The walrus whistle is one more piece of evidence that intelligence and social complexity exist in forms we're only beginning to decode. So the next time you imagine the Arctic, don't just picture the silence. Picture the conversations happening just below the ice, the grunts, the knocks, and yes, the whistles. Each one a message, each one a connection. Each one a reminder that even in the harshest places on Earth, life finds a way to speak, and sometimes it whistles. What other animal sounds surprise you? Share your favorite unusual creature communication in the comments. We might just explore it next. And if you want more deep dives into the hidden lives of animals, subscribe to Animal Fact Vault.